Hello, welcome to the Circl Speaker Series for school students and for anyone else who's interested. I'm Charlie, I'm the CEO and co-founder of Circl, and today we are very lucky to have Simone Marquis with us, who's the Group Director of Talent Leadership and Diversity at BT.
So I'm Simone Marquis, as Charlie introduced, and yes, being the Group Director of Talent Leadership and Diversity for one of the largest organisations in the UK can be a bit baffling as to what that means. So on a day-to-day basis, basically I'm looking at what is the profile of the type of leader that BT needs. And what we mean by profile is what kind of attributes do they need to have? What kind of experiences do they need to have over their careers? Do those experiences even exist today in the market? Or do we need to put leadership development programs together to help people to get there? It's also about looking at the people that are coming in entry-level roles. So for instance, graduates, as some of you will be sometime soon, and thinking about what can we do for graduates when they start in big businesses to get them ready to be leaders in as short a time frame as possible. Those are the things that I'm thinking about every day. So my team are putting programs together, making sure we've got the right people attending those programs, that we're delivering development content in a really engaging way so people are up for doing courses, whether that's online or going to face-to-face events. Those are the typical things that I do. I definitely did not take a linear path. So, when I was leaving school and certainly university, I definitely thought I'd be in the world of marketing. I quite fancied journalism. I then just took a route which meant that I was very open-minded. So when I saw opportunities and I thought I've got something I can bring to that opportunity, it didn't really matter what kind of field it was in. So I went from marketing into sales roles. I ended up in sales roles in the HR sector. So for human resources organisations, I loved what they did. I thought I'm really interested in how you can get the best out of people in business. So we have just announced that we will be the gold sponsor for Pride in London, which is a really visible kind of sponsorship to say that we are putting inclusion first. Of course, that is targeted at the LGBTQ plus community, but actually it's a much broader message that we really want to stand for inclusion and we want to be visible taking that stand. So what you'd see if you came to particularly the office where I work is that it is vast. That is definitely the first thing that that hits you.
Where is it?
It's absolutely massive. It's in central London, so it's just opposite St Paul's Cathedral. So it's a really lovely location, and there's so much going on. It's a very vibrant part of the city, but it's really, really big. So there are thousands of people that are based there, and at the beginning, that can feel intimidating, quite daunting. You've probably never been in a building with so many people before. I definitely hadn't. But then over time, you realise that actually there are a lot of different types of people. So you've got people doing wide varieties of roles under that one roof. So you've got people that are thinking about e-mobile and how you design propositions and, sell new stuff. You've got the technology department that are actually busy working on making sure that the BT network is really stable. I think it's just obvious to say that there will be much more that is on robotics. So you will have a lot of the process-driven type roles that will have transferred to automation. But that will leave such a space for different types of roles. And I think I can't labour the creativity bit enough, because as human race, we demand brain stimulation and creativity. I don't think that we're focusing enough on that in the education space. But actually, if people can be thinking about that outside of work, their hobbies and interests, and just giving space to creativity, that is going to be such an in-demand skill. So my first would be, know your choices. There are so many options now that actually, more and more increasing every day. Those didn't even exist when I was thinking about coming out of school and university. But actually, there are so many possible routes to whatever success looks like for you. Take the time to really explore what they are, to understand what they could mean for you, what the different avenues are. You're never at a dead end. But you've got to kind of empower yourself by knowing what the choices are. So number two is a bit of a theme, as we spoke about earlier, which is working out what your edge is. Who are you, as opposed to everybody else that you're in the same year group with. There are unique things about you, interests that you have. You don't need to force any of that, but actually spend a bit of time getting to know yourself, so that when you come across to employers or at university applications, you can be authentic about who you are and what you enjoy and what you do. That's the number one thing that people are looking for, is that authenticity. And then number three is probably a bit of a different angle. So it's more of a life lesson, I would say, which is, I think about life experiences as being, like a boxing ring. So when you're out in the ring, you're on your own and you're doing your thing, but you always come back to your corner. And if you've got good people around you, a good network around you, support people, and that can be from anywhere. It doesn't need to be school or family or friends. You can find those people that support you, lift you up, give you encouragement and mentorship in any walk of your life, if you're open-minded to it. And keeping your corner strong means that every time you get out in the ring, you're just stronger for that. Never lose sight that you are a role model too. There are people who are watching you, whether they're your younger siblings or people in younger years at school or whoever it is. You may not even know that that person is watching the moves that you're making, the decisions that you're making, how you choose to present yourself, to talk about things, where you hang out, all of that stuff. And take that role really seriously, the same way you take it seriously that you're looking for role models out there in the world too for you.